Welcome back, Santa Clarita Valley. We're here on your Neighborhood Watch, brought to you by All American Bail Bonds twice a month. We're talking about Santa Clarita Valley Sheriff Station outreach, crime prevention tips, what's going on in our community. And we were just talking about the DUI checkpoint that's happening Friday, and all keeping it auto-related, looking at catalytic converters, which is something we've talked about before, and it's something that we're seeing on the rise, basically, in the Santa Clarita Valley. Perhaps maybe because it's a little more affluent community, so you have these nicer cars in more abundance, but it's a problem. And part of the problem is that it's tough to stop.
Yeah. Well, just to enlighten everyone, in case you don't know what a catalytic converter is.
Thank you.
A catalytic converter is actually part of your exhaust system. It's a device that is attached to the exhaust below the manifold, between the manifold and the muffler. And what the catalytic converter does is, from the heat of the exhaust in the engine, it burns off a lot of dangerous toxins and pollutants so that you have cleaner air going through your muffler and out your tailpipe when it's all done.
It also makes the car significantly quieter, too, right?
It doesn't so much act as a muffler. If you were to remove your muffler and run on just the catalytic converter, it would be a little bit louder.
Oh, okay. Because I thought that was the reason why I ask, is because part of the way people notice often that they're stolen is because their car's so much louder.
Well, the
right?
reason they do that, the reason your car is so much louder, is because when they remove the catalytic converter, you now have a gap between the manifold and the exhaust and the muffler. There's nothing in there, so basically you're running on a straight pipe.
So it's not the catalytic converter that reduces the noise; it's the damage to get the catalytic converter out that makes the noise.
The exhaust is now going straight from the manifold out into the air, which, when you go to a race, cars that
that's
are
what you
extremely,
hear.
that's why they don't have any mufflers on them.
Gotcha.
That's now your car's running like a top fuel dragster.
Oh, right on. So it's not going to improve performance, though.
Not
really.
at all. No,
it's just going to make it a little less pleasant to be around.
Exactly.
And the issue being that there are valuable metals in this catalytic converter part that people steal them for.
Yeah,
right?
the catalytic converters contain platinum and iridium. And when these materials are melted out of the catalytic converters, they're worth a decent amount of money. So.
And then, again, we were just talking to somebody from the automotive industry. One of our, community businesses, Dan Reeves at Reeves Automotive, was telling me there's just, outside of standing by your car, there's not a whole lot that you can do.
There are some precautions, and
what can we
we've talked
do
about this. If always the best thing you can do, if you have a garage, if you can get your car in the garage, that's the safest way you can really do it. If you live in an apartment complex that doesn't offer garages, hopefully it's a gated community. If it's not, try to keep your car in the carport or in a well-lit area. Hopefully you've got security or a neighborhood watch or something like that. And if you see anybody in your area that doesn't look like someone you know and you think they're creeping around the cars, absolutely give us a call right away.
Call the sheriff's station. That's the other thing.
I saw an interesting post on Facebook because one of the most common ones that we're having problems with right now is the Toyota Sequoia.
I've heard the Sequoia and the Element are issues.
Toyota Sequoia has two catalytic converters. A Honda Element, I believe it's just an easy one to access.
Because it's higher up, is what we've
same
heard.
with the Sequoia. But somebody had mentioned on Facebook that on their Toyota, they had installed a skid plate, which covers up the catalytic converters.
Interesting.
Even if you don't do any kind of off-roading, I personally think it's a great option because the thieves want to get in and out quickly.
So anytime you can make it harder for them.
Exactly. They don't want to get in and have to deal with a skid plate or any kind of protection around that catalytic converter. So something to think about.
And our morning host, I just want to throw this out here, George D. Cummings, throws out one way to protect the catalytic converter is to buy an electric car. That's what he's decided to do for his option.
Oh, George.
He says catalytic converter theft is not an issue for him at all.
Yeah, well,
so there's that.
For those of us who still like cars with petrol, I'm still a motorhead, and I don't think you'll ever see me driving an electric car.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
Oh boy. But we are drinking coffee from recycled cups. So there's that.
Well, yeah, I'm not an animal.
So, and also wanted to talk about that. Is there anything else we want to mention? Is that pretty much? It's basically also be vigilant. If you see something, say something.
Absolutely.
Call the station at 255-1121 and report that suspicious activity, because that's really the only way that you guys can get on top of it and stop it.
And if you think if it looks like a hot crime to you, you call 911. And we'll get there. We'll get there even sooner. And if you have been a victim of this crime, if you have had your catalytic converter stolen, we still want you to call us. Even if you think there's nothing, that can be done to find this person, if you have no witnesses, no video, no nothing, we still want to come out, we still want to talk to you, because we need to keep this on record.
And track where they're going
it's
and
huge,
where they're Yeah, I mean, it's something really. I mean, it's happened for years, but we're seeing a rise just because of certain elements are coming together.
Yeah, and
right,
you don't
for these
know.
type of
Yours
things.
might be the one where this person left something behind that's going to lead us to him.
Right.
So
There's that too.
by all means, call us.
So again, that's 661-255-1121 if you see something suspicious. Other thing I want to talk about, we got a couple minutes left on this segment, is the court cases that have been wrapping up. We had on Monday or Tuesday, a Newhall gang member was charged with a 2012 stabbing murder. Took place in Newhall. He was charged with this. Cesar Navarro pleaded no contest, which Peter now knows.
Oh, yeah, I learned that today from Perry Smith, KHTS News Director on your hometown station.
Thank you, Peter.
Wow.
Yeah, I pay him to do that. I don't know why. It's a waste of money. So yeah, he's getting 30 years in jail as the terms of a plea deal, and he'll have to serve 85% of that because it was a violent crime. Basically, they believe that he set off the car alarm out front of Franco Alea's house, who is suspected. They believe it was part of a gang rivalry. Obviously, we won't never know all the answers because somebody took a plea deal and now somebody's dead. But there was a stabbing murder. It was investigated. The Santa Clarita Valley Sheriff Station deputies put out an alert that said, "Hey, we're trying to find this person." You guys got a ton of information, and eventually we're able to track down Cesar Navarro, and he took a plea, and now he's going to be in jail for a long time.
Yeah, you know what? Citizen participation in any crime is huge, and we do take it very seriously. So, never be afraid to call us with any information you might have about anything.
And another case that just recently not wrapped up. We just have one more piece of the puzzle, which is the death of Alora Warner, that 19-day-old baby that was found dead in Newhall in the back of a truck. The baby was. The cause of death was blunt force trauma. We don't exactly know the nature of how that was caused yet, but we were waiting the toxicology reports because the coroner hadn't said that it was definitely a murder or blunt force trauma until we knew, the results. There was no drugs found in the system. It's going to be an ongoing case. He hasn't gone to trial yet. He hasn't been formally arraigned, but once that happens, we'll probably know a little bit more from the testimony. And on that note, we're going to head into our last segment when we get right back from commercial break on your Neighborhood Watch, brought to you by All American Bail Bonds on your hometown station, AM 1220 KHTS. Welcome back, Santa Clarita Valley. We're here on your Neighborhood Watch, brought to you by All American Bail Bonds. We're twice a month, we're talking about Santa Clarita Valley Sheriff Station outreach. I don't have quite that much of your time yet, Deputy Duxbury. Right. but twice a month, we're letting everybody know what's going on in their neighborhood, what the Sheriff Station is doing about it, and any events that are coming up. And along those lines, we do have one coming up. But first, I want a firm commitment from you and Kim that we're going to see you guys at the Emergency Expo and this Home Garden Show this weekend.
According to my text messages, yes,
is Kim telling us she's going to be there? All right, good deal. We'll see you guys there along with everybody else in the community because we expect a huge turnout. So definitely a good chance to meet and greet some more folks. But yeah, you guys are having an event on Saturday also. 7 to noon.
Yes, well, that's
it's
actually...
right next door. It's right next door, sorry.
It's May 9th, actually. So.
I have the date wrong. Thank you for the correction. Saturday, May 9th, from 7 a.m. to noon, so that's the week after next? You're talking about all kinds of crazy planning.
Yeah.
I don't even know that far on the calendar. It's in May. No, May 9th on Saturday from 7 a.m. to noon at the sheriff's... No, not at the sheriff's station.
It's going to be at the parking lot at the Westfield
By the mall.
Valencia
Okay.
Town Center Mall, and it's going to be the parking lot on the corner of Citrus Street and Magic Mountain Parkway.
And it's called a Safe and Secure Community Collection event.
Community Collection event, right? Otherwise known as a Safe Shred.
Yeah, Safe Shred, getting rid of e-waste. The lead that I have in your Nixle is, do you have stacks of sensitive documents or old electronic devices cluttering up your garage? Well, yes and yes, but I'm not sure I'm ready to get rid of my old electronic devices that are cluttering up my garage from my cold dead fingers.
You hoping to get some gold out of them or something?
I don't know why I hang on to them. I'm a bit of an electronics hoarder in that respect.
Okay.
But you know what? Yeah, probably if Kirsten has her way, then I will take them down to the event on Saturday and have those shredded. But it brings up a more more important topic, which is that you need to dispose of these products or whatever they are, discarded
Yeah, a
goods.
lot of people are concerned with identity theft, and they should be, and a lot of people are afraid to get rid of documents that have a lot of personal information on them. So for this event, which is free, people can bring up to 5 boxes that are 11 by 12 by 15, your standard paper ream box. You
Okay.
can bring up to 5 boxes per vehicle of those documents, and we will take them, and they will be shredded. Just destroyed. So, and it's all done safe and secure. We're also accepting all kinds of e-waste, like old computers, old monitors, basically
discs.
anything that'll. Oh yeah, going back to the shredded of the documents. Yes, we'll take any kind of paper. We'll take binders, old credit cards, computer discs. All that stuff can be shredded. And then as far as the e-waste. Monitors, old hard drives, old laptops, anything like that, anything that basically plugs into a standard household outlet, we'll take and recycle. Unfortunately, we cannot take like large appliances, refrigerators, TVs, washers, dryers, that type of thing. We also won't be doing any kind of engines, unless you got a nice Edelbrock big V8.
We'll talk to you on the side.
I'll talk to you on the side about that.
Text Kevin Duxbury.
Batteries, light bulbs, and household hazardous wastes, paints, that type of thing. That's not the kind of things that we'll be able to take. I've also been asked if we will clean a hard drive. No, unfortunately, they don't have the technology to do anything like that. This is strictly a recycling and disposal.
But you can just put a large fridge magnet next to the hard drive, right?
Aaron.
That'll wipe the
Put all your
heck out of
household
it.
You learned that on
refrigerator
Breaking Bad.
Magnets. But yeah, so that's good, and it's good to know because I'm someone like myself. I don't even like to throw away my bank receipts outside the bank trash can because I'm always worried. Somebody's. Which is a joke, actually, because there's nothing in my account for anyone to steal. And if anyone who steals my identity for credit purposes will only find themselves in larger amounts of debt. But, still I like to keep that privacy, and you don't want to deal with the hassle of canceling cards fake cards that have been put out in your name.
And I can speak from personal experience because I got hacked once about 4 years ago. And it just doesn't stop. I've had to change my cards probably, I think this will be about the 5th or 6th time I've had to do it now.
Well, because once your information gets out there, they just keep selling
It's
it.
just horrible. Yeah, it is a bad
It's not like you can get a new
position
social security
Nope,
number,
nope.
So things to remember. Peter, we forgetting anything on the list of events, outreach, updates?
Home and Garden Show. Just make sure you go.
Are you going to be there?
Expo. Well, I'm going to be here for the remote.
Are you handling? You're handling the hub.
Yeah.
You're the sound engineer for the Home Garden Show.
Yeah.
The pin that holds it all together. So
That's what I like to refer to myself as every waking moment of the day. When I walk outside and I see the sun, it's what I know. It's
Oh,
future.
okay. Now you're getting a little. Let's cut the guy's mic. Dux, what do you got going on this weekend? Anything else we need to know about?
No, not a whole lot on my end.
Upcoming events? Is the sheriff's station planning anything? Do we have any outreach outside of the torch runs? And
Not that I know of right now, but you know what? In 2 weeks, I'll have some good stuff for you, I'm sure.
are you trying to tease us?
Absolutely.
All right. And then, again, a big announcement. We didn't really talk about it too much, but I just want to mention, coming up in the Santa Clarita Valley, there is discussion of a new Santa Clarita Valley Sheriff's Station.
There is, I know it's part of the whole 2020 plan.
Right.
They're talking about building us a new station up on Golden Valley, up on the property by the temporary fire station.
Where they're also putting up a senior center eventually. Again, that's the discussion right now. We're going to have a little bit more information about that on hometownstation.com, so you can check that out. And then as the city puts out more information, we'll be updating that. But that's kind of exciting. There used to be a substation in Newhall.
Yes.
And now operations were centralized into the Valencia location, and now we're looking at putting an even more. I guess the idea is to make it more centralized, right, and on that Golden Valley location. Because if you look at the build out of where the valley's going,
It does seem like a good location to be centrally located. There was some talk about substations, but that's not in concrete or anything. We don't know if that's going to happen or not.
a lot of development going on there in the talks between Los Angeles County officials and City of Santa Clarita officials. Seemed to be my impression yesterday from talking to, City Manager Ken Striplin and Mayor Marsha McLean and spokeswoman Gail Ortiz. They were all kind of discussing those kind of things. Or Gilmore, sorry. And all discussing that basically it's plans for the future, but the spot that they're kind of looking at is the Golden Valley area. So we might see more information about that coming up. But we've got to go. This is all the time we have for outreach
it goes
and
so
crime
fast.
prevention every week. It goes faster. So thank you for listening. Again, more information about the Emergency Expo and the Home and Garden Show. If you want to check it out, it's going on this weekend, hosted by KHTS AM 1220. Thank you for listening. This has been the Neighborhood Watch, brought to you by Kevin Duxbury. Perry Smith, and All American Bail Bonds on your hometown station, AM 1220 KHTS.